A new Time magazine report paints a truly disturbing image of the humanitarian crisis in Sudan. According to the story, human rights observers say tens of thousands more Sudanese will die in a matter of months unless something is done. Time World editor Ramesh Ratnasar is joining us now from New York with more. Ramesh, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we're talking about 18 months here of atrocities going on in Sudan. 18 months, and in your article you write about the bands of men swooping into these villages, shooting the men and boys, raping the women, slaughtering or stealing livestock, looting, burning huts, mosques, and yet the international community has yet to take a single punitive action toward Sudan. What is going on here?
Well, the basic answer is it's just been a lack of will. The international community has known for more than a year about what was going on in the western region of Darfur, which amounts to basically the Sudanese government sponsoring a campaign of ethnic cleansing against the black African residents of that region. The United States has tried to put together a consensus within the UN Security Council to impose penalties on the Sudanese government if they don't take action to disarm this militia. But for one thing, the United States doesn't have sufficient troops to send to Sudan ourselves, and the rest of the Security Council has interests in Sudan, countries like Sudan, Pakistan, and China, and they don't want to put undue pressure on the Sudanese government that would potentially foil those interests.
What kind of interests are we talking about here?
Both China and Pakistan and other countries have interest in the oil industry in Sudan, which is they see as potentially lucrative to companies in their countries.
All right, you mentioned the U.S. here. Let's talk about U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell, who visited the region several months ago and said on record that genocide has occurred there. But the UN isn't calling it that yet. It appointed actually a panel today to look into the issue. Why does it seem like the UN isn't recognizing the obvious here?
Well, I mean, it's, again, I think this is all a matter of politics within the Security Council. I think there are lots of people who are against the idea of intervening. They don't see the interests of the world at stake here, and they don't want to put pressure on the Sudanese for a variety of reasons. The Secretary of State's declaration was a step in the right direction, but he hasn't been able to back it up, and the administration has not shown a willingness to back this up with an actual intervention of the United States in this region, and I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon.
You say they don't want to put pressure on Sudan, yet the vast majority of these atrocities are being carried out by the Janjaweed militia. They're these Arab bandits on horseback that receive financial and military support from the Sudanese government, and yet no pressure on Sudan?
That's right. I think there's been a pattern of making threats, of saying that the world will take action if the Sudanese don't take steps to disarm these militia. But that's a far cry from actual penalties, which in 18 months the world has not been willing to place on Khartoum. And that is really the only way that we're going to see any concrete steps taken to put an end to this killing.
And the really devastating part to all of this is that even if something were to be done now, today, tens of thousands of people will still die as a result of hunger, as a result of disease, because they fled their homes and they're stuck in the middle of nowhere with no food, no clean water, no shelter. What needs to be done here?
Well, there needs to be a sizable, credible peacekeeping force from the African Union. There are already a few hundred troops on the ground, but we need many, many more, probably close to 10,000, and they have to be given a mandate that says that they will be able to stop the killing and disarm the Janjaweed, which they don't have the mandate to do now. If that happens, I think with a concerted pressure on Khartoum, we could see some progress toward alleviating these miserable conditions, which do threaten the lives of close to 1 million people.
Well, I can't believe we're 18 months into it and the UN is just looking into the issue now again. Seems like the whole world has turned its back on these people. Time World editor Ramesh Ratnasar, thank you so much for joining us. And with the holidays just around the corner, a personal chef may be just the ticket to having your turkey on the table without having to spend hours in the kitchen. Joining us at this very early hour from San Diego is the founder and executive director of American Personal Chef Institute and Association, Candy Wallace. Candy, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
I can't tell you how well timed this segment is. I have family coming this Christmas season. I'm a bachelorette. I don't know how to cook. I don't know what to do. What kind of help have you got for us folks out there?
Well, what we like to do is meet with clients like you and sit down and determine exactly what it is you want to accomplish by using a personal chef. And then we'll actually do a process to determine what you like to eat and how you like to eat, and whether you or your family have any allergies or sensitivities, or whether there are just certain tastes and textures you don't enjoy. And then we'll actually put together a customized program that's specific for you and your family, so that you're getting everything that you want, palate specific, and the time to enjoy being together and enjoy all this beautiful food.
I think people think personal chef and they think really expensive just for the rich folks, but it's becoming more and more popular for us everyday people, right?
Yeah, we are more and more mainstream. People are actually finding out that you don't have to be a celebrity to eat like one. So working with the personal chef is becoming eminently affordable.
Who are your typical clients?
There are several different types of clients. We work with busy, active families. We work a lot for two-income professionals who are working long hours and driving long commutes. But we actually also are working with individuals and families who want fine dining. They could have a private chef, but they choose not to have someone living in and being a full-time employee. We also cook for a lot of seniors who want to remain independent as long as possible, and also people with medically specific challenges. And we do a lot of professional athletes as well who want to stay healthy and avoid that yo-yo dieting syndrome.
All right, so it's cost efficient, it's healthy. I mean, it sounds great. I'm in love with this program. What have you got coming up for the holidays?
Well, a lot of our clients have asked us to prepare their dinners for their families so that they can enjoy the day. I typically here in San Diego would do dinners for approximately 10 of my client families, deliver them first thing in the morning so that they could roast their turkey using the base and the stuffing and all of the dishes that we prepared for them. One family would put the turkey in the oven, go sailing for a few hours, come back and have a beautiful meal that I had prepared for them, and they got to enjoy their Christmas day together.
All right, I'm sure a lot of people are watching who want to know exactly how and where they can go and get their own personal chef. So can you give us that information real quick?
Absolutely. They can come to our website, which is www.personalchef.com. We have a geographic registry of our members across the country, and they're more than welcome to call and ask us for assistance if they're looking for a particular chef with a particular specialty. We'll be happy to help.
Great, great. I can't wait to look it up myself this Thanksgiving season. All right, founder and executive director of American Personal Chef Institute, Candy Wallace, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.